Hello farmers, welcome back to Hinterland and April. We got a busy month ahead of us. May take a couple of episodes to do everything we need to do, but we'll get it all done. The main concern, I wouldn't say concern for the farm currently is the milk. Our cows are just producing way too much milk, and we're not going through it that much in the production building. So I'm hoping pretty soon here today, we're going to be upgrading that again. Well, how can we do that? Well, we're going to bring some slurry over to the BGA to get that processed to electricity. I can bring some manure over to do the same thing. Our sawmill is full. I need to take care of that. And we need to sell some of that product as well because it's a good price today. So we got a few ways we can get some money. And definitely, we just got to upgrade the dairy production quite a bit. I think we've only gone through like 15,000 liters of milk currently, and every month now we're making like 45,000 liters of milk. So we're so far behind on the production building. I mean, if we get too far behind, I could always just go ahead and sell the milk straight up, but then we're not really profiting as well as we could have with the slurry going in. Let's get that started here. Slurry. Yes, let's go ahead and activate that. I'm also activated. We made some flour the first year. I think we harvested some barley and I made some flour. So currently making some bread in our bakery. I also noticed that I can make corn flour in this bakery on Hinterland, and we got a lot of corn. So yeah, I do need some corn, the corn for the chickens, but our chickens I don't think are required that much. So I may bring over like 50,000 liters of corn and just make flour to make bread. Just another way to make some money as well. I need to bring the the wool over from the sheep. I don't have that much, but 2,000 liters is 2,000 liters, and we can make some more clothing. And what else we got to do over to our production buildings? Oh, yeah, the sawmill needs some tender care. Yeah, so the dairy, we gone through 15,000 liters in a month and a half. We just barely upgraded to level 2, and pretty soon level 3. What is in my grain trailer? Probably manure is the last thing I brought over, right? Be my guess. I've been looking ways to sell methane, and I really haven't found a good way to do so yet. Good news is the BGA can hold quite a bit, so we're going to hold off on the methane for a little bit. I could sell the digestate. We got the sell point down for that. But I need to go ahead and empty out the sawmill, so let's go ahead and grab our low boy. Oh yeah, and by the way, if you see some frame rate drops or whatever for the first few minutes of the episode, this is my first recording on the map since 1.9.1 was updated. So, may get a couple stutters here and there. Let's see here. We got this ready to load. I think so. Now let's get the sawmill. Well, the only thing the sawmill's not making right now is planks. We got a lot of planks currently. And that's probably going to spawn some stuff. Of course. Load these on up. I probably got to go up and get the logs off that hill. I'm kind of hoping the trees haven't grown any. In a way, I want the trees to grow, but I kind of forgot to go up and get the logs off the hill. But I think where we planted all these stone pine trees, there are no logs to pick up, so we should be, free and clear of that. I think we are full. So let's go drop this into our storage shed. As for field work, we got to plant the soybeans today. Had to think about that, right? Is soybeans for the chickens? Scroll on down. Protein. Soybeans. Yeah, soybeans. Got to go ahead and plant those in. And we got a few fields that I'm pretty sure are going to have weeds into them. So we'll get that done as well. Maybe I'll hire a worker for doing some weeds while I go in the planter and take care of the soybean field. Wow, must have had a lot of planks in storage. Go ahead and grab those. Yeah, the one thing we will be selling here pretty soon, even though I'm storing everything. Where is it? What am I selling here? Prefab walls and wood beams. The price says it's going down, but if you look at the overall price, it's really dark green, which means it's better than the high price. So we're going to get like $130,000 right there. And like I said, we're going to upgrade the dairy production as much as we can. I originally wanted to get the loan below $30,000. Not below $30,000. The loan interest that we pay at midnight below $30,000 before I really did much around the farm. But the dairy production, we're just falling behind on that. And it's only going to get more, right? I mean, we're just going to get more and more milk eventually. So we got to keep up on that. Let's go ahead and grab what we can here. Put this all in the storage for a few moments. Alright, so this is the last load out of the sawmill. So prefab walls and wood beams is what I need to bring over to, I guess, our new sell point that I put down, hoping that it would take methane. It does take digestate, but that's where it is going. Do I have prefab walls or anything like that in here? What's actually in here? Where's that trigger here? We got potatoes, planks, potatoes. Alright, so there's planks and potatoes in there. So we'll go ahead and grab the prefab walls. Where's the trigger for this? Trigger happy. Where it should be here somewhere. There it is. Prefab walls. We'll get those first. Planks long, prefab walls. There's 12. I don't know how many more we got in there. Can't see right now, but let's grab those. We'll go sell those and start bringing some money so we can upgrade the dairy production ASAP. Alright, so it looks like we can, yeah, that's going to be all the prefab walls that we have. Alright, let's go sell these. And then while I'm kind of headed that way, we're going to go oversee the sheep. We're going to grab the wool, bring that over to the clothes factory, get that process started. That's going to be a good sell next month. We're going to get like 300 grand for that. And yeah, probably every penny of that is going to go towards the dairy production. Sounds kind of weird saying that, but we got to upgrade that quite a bit. It'll be a while before we get our money back on it, but yeah, with the cows, I don't think it's going to be much of an issue. Okay, I may have not put this in the selling point in the best spot here. Also got to take consideration the price that we're seeing does not include our bonus. So already we're up to $70,000, which is nice. Alright, let's spin around. I may get rid of that selling point and try to find another one that will just take methane. But like I said, not in a big rush because the BGA can hold quite a bit. You can see our oak trees are still doing nicely. Good thing the grass field is ready today as well. I need to cut that as conditioned grass because the sheep need some feed. We did get 10 more sheep last night. So we're up to 60. Yeah, and their feed trough is... Actually, it looks kind of bare. Oh, no, it doesn't. It's a water trough. But overall, they're doing okay. Oh, that's right. I got to change that to load, not just full, but take it all. Yeah, so just shy of 2,000 liters. But you know what? You know, we're gonna get tons of wool in the future. All right, go ahead and take that wool, will you please? And we will go ahead and reactivate that because I think that's going to be off. Let's see here. We want batch fabric from cotton and wool, so let's activate that, and we'll turn clothing back on as well. So that is good. Let's go grab more of the prefab walls, and I already forgot. Is it long planks or I think it's beams, right? We want to sell the beams today. Is it beams? Yeah, wood beams. Wood beams. Give me some wood beams. Yeah, got to get rid of this other storage building over here because every time we get too close, as we know, For some reason, it cuts out the engine sound. No one else has said is doing it on their game if they're using that shed or not. But of course, as you know, we have the problem here. It doesn't matter what tractor I bring it over. Wood beams, planks long, wood beams, start. And we'll take what we can. They're all going to the same spot, so it's all good. And then when I drop off, when we get done with the low boy here, we'll drop that trailer off. We'll bring the grain trailer back to the farm. We'll grab the cow manure, bring it over to the BGA, get that process as well. So we might be able to upgrade the dairy production 2 levels today. And then when we sell the fabric, or sorry, the clothing tomorrow, well, I say tomorrow, in May, which it looks like that's the best time to sell it, we may be able to upgrade it 2 more times, get up to level 6. Oh, it's not going to take the wood beams on top. There we go. Grab those. This sell point is not in the best location for us to bring in a truck in the low boy, but it gets the job done. Really don't have another good place to put it without getting near other triggers. Alright, so we're up to 113,000. Let's go into production buildings. And we'll go down to the dairy, and we're going to upgrade that again for 84,000. I mean, the good news is it does store more as well, but now production will be 3 times as quick. So it's going to be... Whoops, there's a bench there. So it's going to be somewhere close to 92,000 upgraded again. Which I think we can get there. With the wood beams we got left to sell, and of course with the BGA making electricity all day long, we should be able to. Oh yeah, probably should, before I go anywhere from here, is grab the logging trailer, head up to the forest, and grab the trees. The sawmill could probably use some anyways. Can we grab them all, please? No! Alright, because I don't want to make another trip over. We'll go ahead and strap them all in. That should be all the... No, we don't want the chainsaw. Let's see. Potatoes. Yeah, we got a lot of potatoes we need to sell. Planks long. Potatoes. Yeah, I think we're all set there. Yeah, the potatoes, we're still waiting on the best time to sell the premium potatoes. And seed potatoes, we're going to sell a whole bunch of that stuff as well. Well, almost all the wood beams went. That one didn't get upright. Alright, so there's 91,000. Alright. Money's just piling on in. Alright, little boy gets parked there. And actually, I was wondering where the milk tanker was, but I didn't see it at the main farm, so I thought, well, it must be over here at the dairy. And it is. I'm guessing I still got milk in here. Yep, 21,000 liters worth. We'll dump that on in. And let's go grab the logging trailer. We'll head up to the forest. And we'll grab what logs that we can. If not all of them. I would like to make some roads around the sawmill, but unfortunately, we technically don't own the land that the truck is on. We're right on the edge. And the only thing is, I like having the cows in the livestock market, but if I were to buy that land, those cows then actually do become ours. So they would actually, you know, I'm not going to bother feeding those cows. Although I could get some milk out of them, right? Interesting thought. Anyways, on up. Let's grab some logs, bring them on back to the sawmill to keep that production up and going. Yeah, the chickens did pretty well overnight. They didn't go through that much feed, but then again, we only got 11 chickens currently. So I don't expect them to go through the feed that much. We did have some eggs this morning, so that's good. Watch out for these oak tree branches. And it got a little squirrely there, so you got to be careful of that. These fields, none of these fields over here should have weeds in them. All these 3 fields were plowed. Stone pine trees, I don't see any sprouting up, so I can kind of see the line going up through there. So we're going to grab the logs over in that area first. Wait a minute, we only want one pile of 12 meters. Yeah, I think we're all set. Switch to the right side and activate. Alright, there's those. Let's get the ones up by the wind turbine a little bit, because I'm pretty sure I planted some around here. I should come to a full stop and turn the autoloader on and off, but if you go slow enough, it loads rather well. Okay, turn around here. And got to get these ones that are kind of in the middle here. And that might be a full trailer in itself. Let's see if I can grab a couple of loaners that are out here. That one's kind of alone. And by clearing these out, I think we're all set. Probably should strap those in. Yeah, that top one may not quite be on, but looks like it's on well enough. And can we just grab this one right here? Here, we'll turn the autoloader back off. And I think all the ones over there, I think we're all set. You can kind of see the stone pine saplings that are planted. Yeah, we can get to the rest of those. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're mostly good. Alright, got to be careful when I get down to the bottom of this hill before our... what did I plant in this field? Oats, maybe? I could tip over right here, depending on how the logs are loaded. But we made it. Alright, let's bring these back to the sawmill, then we'll grab the grain trailer, head back to the farm, grab that manure, bring it over to the BGA. Get that process started. Yeah, that one log that was on top wasn't really strapped in. It rolled out just before we got here, so it's not too far back. I'll get it another time. Alright, we'll unstrap them even though they don't fall. And just got to get back in the truck, which seems kind of weird, but that's the way it works. And one more time, I think. Oh, we got one that may not fall down here. Let's, there we go. And it took them all. But we're up to 65,000 liters. So that should be good enough to run it for a while. Well, now it's time to grab that grain trailer and bring back that manure. Currently, this is all the manure that we have. I still have about 17,000 liters of slurry I could bring over. But maybe I'll bring it over later on in the evening hours. As we know, the BGA goes through the manure and slurry, most of the products, pretty quickly. Alright, let's go into our production buildings, and that's going to be up here, manure. Go ahead and activate that, and we should be good to go. Just looking at the storage of everything that's in here. Yeah, we're all good. Holds 500,000 liters of manure and slurry. Sugar beet that we know of. Straw that we use for other things. Yeah, we're all set. We're all good. Alright, don't need the grain trailer over here for anything else. I'm going to bring that back. I'll put it next to the wash station so we can give it a good wash. The next job is hop into the planter and get all the crops in for the season. Get that on in. As for buying more fields or buying more land, because there are no fields to buy, I may be doing that this year because I'm a little concerned with the amount of grass. Of course, the first year or so, we were buying land and, of course, making fields. But before we did so, we took the grass that was there and mowed it to make whatever we needed to make at that time. So currently, right now, we only have one grass field. And, of course, with the sheep and the cows needing grass, and we're starting to get more and more animals, they're going to require it more often. So we'll just give this a quick little rinse here because I had manure into it. So, yeah. I mean, I could buy a separate trailer just for the manure and use one trailer for grain, but that's a lot of money for one trailer to bring manure back and forth. I mean, in the long run, it's not a big deal, because this farm's going to make tons of money, I think. All right, let's go ahead and you know what? We can just leave that right there. I did leave the planter parked over here. Yes, it is. Right there. It's got soybean into it, and it looks like the trailer, or sorry, the planter implement itself did rotate overnight since I last logged in. Alright, so soybeans for the chickens. I really do love this planter, other than the price tag that came with it was rather expensive, and also the fact that it likes to rotate on its own. Although the one thing I think I saw, I left it unfolded once. It didn't rotate when it was unfolded. Alright, so soybean fertilizer, we are good. So this field was plowed, so this will not need to be weeded at all. And of course, soybeans don't require that much fertilizer, if any. So, yeah, we're not going to go through the fertilizer at all. I was going to hire a worker to start spraying for weeds, but it's not going to take us that long to spray for weeds. You can see weeds right next to us. That's a sugar beet field this year. So when the top of the hour comes, I'm thinking we'll have enough cash, we should have, to upgrade the dairy production again. Because we do have 88,000 liters of milk at the cow barn to bring on over. And we already got like 80,000 at the dairy production currently, so that's 160,000 liters of milk. And only half of our cows are actually producing milk. We got like 22 cows producing milk out of the 40. I think we're up to 46 or 48 now. And I do need to kind of test some TMR production buildings for the distant future for the cows, to see if those TMR production buildings understand the Maizeplus silage, because I'm pretty sure it's going to say they accept silage, but does it know what maize silage is, and corn, grass silage, and conditioned silage. I don't know how it's all coded and scripted. Because feeding 40 cows right now it's a little bit, but it's not that bad. But as we know in the future, if you do plan to get up to over 200 cows, that's going to be a lot of feeding every month. That's why I know I did talk to someone who does Maizeplus, and they said if you're going to do cows, it might be a good idea to play a couple days for each month. That way it's easier to feed the animals. But I figured, well, we'll just stick to one day and go from there. So these soybeans will be for the chickens, and kind of like the corn, if we get an excess amount of soybeans and corn, what we can do is we can bring the soybean over to the bakery, which also on this map here, we can produce oil in the bakery. And of course, now with the corn, we can make corn flour. And of course, the flour can then be made into bread. And the oil, well, the oil will just be sold as oil. One headland done. And as for the grass field, the first cut is going to be conditioned grass, and that'll be for the sheep. I could feed the conditioned grass to the cows, which will cover all 4 food groups. But with the cows, I'm going to just try to keep giving them TMR. The sheep will just get conditioned grass, of course, and in the winter months, we will feed them the other products that they can use, which is sugar beet, hay, and I already forgot the other 2. The reason why I can't remember that yet, because we haven't had to feed the sheep during the winter. Their feed trough has been sufficient enough to get them through. But I'm thinking this upcoming winter, it will not be. Yeah, we're hardly going through the seed, hardly going through the fertilizer, so we should be able to finish this field off without running out and having to refill. And that will be us done planting for the year, I do believe. Unless we buy a lot of land, which I think they're like 80, just shy of 90,000, I think, for a lot of land. And we'll probably make it into another grass field, I think. Make a grass field into a grass field.
On a sunny day in late July, and everything turned upside down. I almost lost track of time as weeks went by. I couldn't get him off my mind. I told him I want that great love, like standing in the middle of a bonfire. You don't know how you got there, but you hold tight, knowing that you can't get burned. Just tell me how we lost track of everything but each other. I honestly don't know. And tell me how we messed up, drifting away from each other. Didn't want to let you go. Cause we wanted different things, and I have to deal with it, but it's not easy. So tell me how to let go, cause you really seem to know how to carry on your own. Ever since I got a good look in his eyes, I just knew that he was special. He said he wanted to take it slow, but I couldn't help that I wanted to take it to the next level. Cause I wanted that great love, like standing in the middle of
In just a few minutes, we should be at the top of the hour, which means we should be able to upgrade the dairy production one more time. And I keep going over the same piece right here, the same direction. That's not gonna get the soybean into the field, Peanut. Go the other way. There you go. Only thing I wish we could do is change the color of the planter, although the orange color isn't that bad. I know there's been a few comments on a couple of equipment that we bought where we have a color choice. And a few people will have it. I don't know if you're joking around or not, but you kind of want to see like a weird paint scheme like I did with the root crop harvester on East Vineland. I mean, we could always change the color of the root crop harvester here. Just have to bring it to the workshop. Just want to get the few pieces that we have here. Yeah, we're up to 106,000. That should be enough to upgrade the dairy production. I mean, it wasn't going to be like 96,000 to upgrade that. Okay, I think we got most of the field there. Double check in just a moment. But I want to upgrade this as soon as possible. 91,000. That's even better. Level 4. There, now we can hold a lot of milk. And not a whole lot of storage for cheese and butter. But that's okay. It's going to get processed. I think we're all set. So no weeds in this field for this year. We'll get this little piece right here just because. Alright, we're going to call that good. Just fold it on up. I got little spots there. Eventually I got to take care of those trees, I think. We'll put this in line over by the pressure washer to get it cleaned on up. The repair status does not look that bad. So we're going to hold off on repairing it. Let me go ahead and we'll park this right here. Alright, let's go grab, and we're actually going to use the Voltra to go do some weeding. We've been using the JCB in the case quite a bit. The Voltra just kind of sits in this little cubbyhole corner over here and takes care of the cows, which is pretty important as we know on this map. But you guys are going through the feed quite fast. Let me go ahead and top you off of what we have. Looks like the Voltra could use some fuel. So what's happening with the feed trough, because someone did ask, you may have noticed just before I topped it off that the feed was like a grass texture. And when I put TMR into it, it changes over to TMR. That's because we got the grazing mod. So the cows are taking grass from their field here, conditioned grass, and putting it into their feed trough. That's why it turns green. Looks like they took half of it this morning, not all of it. That's kind of interesting. We'll see if that does that again. Haven't seen it do that before. Alright, let's go. Now let's go fuel up first. I'll leave the front loader on just to give a little bit of counterbalance for when I put the sprayer on. And we'll take care of a field, maybe two. Actually, the potato fields won't need it because we had to plow those. So I don't really have that many fields to weed at this point. Did a lot of plowing this year, actually. I do like this little, I guess we can call it a village that she made on the map here. Pretty cool. I just want to double check on what is a good thing to sell. So, fabric, but we don't want to sell our fabric, of course. Just looking for anything dark green here. So currently the clothing, yeah, that price is going up. And yeah, currently we're going to get 350,000, which of course, at this point now, I don't know if all of it's going to go into dairy production upgrades. But probably one or two levels. Two levels could cost a total of $200,000. And I think the other 150 may go ahead and put into the loan. Now, once we get the loan interest below $30,000 a night, which would be kind of key for us, then we'll start saving up some money to get ourselves a extra large tractor. The extra large tractor, that's what I call anything over like 550 horsepower. And I think we'll be getting, I did say we're going to get a John Deere. So I think we'll get the 9RX. I did have that one. After looking at it, I came over to the wrong spot. So I used the Vulture going over here. We didn't have that tractor on No Man's Land for a short time. But, you know, I know a lot of you out there like John Deere. And I mentioned like in episode 1 that we'd be getting a John Deere. So we'll be doing that. What will I be using the John Deere for? I don't know, but we'll be on the farm and we can do a whole bunch of stuff with it. Because the Case Magnum can more than do a lot of the work around the farm. Alright, so let me just double check on the map. I think these two fields over here, although we weeded the cotton field, but this field right here might be the only field with weeds in it currently. So let's go right here. Oh, we got weeds in this field over here. What did I plant there? Sugar beet. Alright. Well, let's go take care of that field first. And that will just leave the... Yeah, that's a lot of weight back there. Don't really... I'm glad I let the front loader on. Because it's kind of a little light in the front. But that will leave, after we get this field weeded, that will leave the other sugar beet field over there to get weeded. And then we just got to do the conditioned grass. Alright, unfolded. See and spot spraying. Activated. And everything is looking good. I was maybe in the future thinking putting down a sugar plant. So we can make sugar, of course, which will allow us to also make chocolate in the dairy production. Because we do get so much milk, at some point I'm not going to want to keep upgrading the dairy production because it's going to get rather expensive. So it might be wise to put down like an $80,000 production of sugar so we can go ahead and make chocolate. And that would help us process the milk further on through. Because we do have plenty of sugar beet. Now, of course, bring in some sugar beet there to make some chocolate. Or, sorry, some sugar. That will also take away from us producing electricity with the sugar beet. Yeah, you really don't go through the herbicide on precision farming with a See and Spot sprayer. Of course, running this series with precision farming and Solyndra without, it's kind of interesting how the farming goes on both farms, how they're rather different, and the procedures you got to take to farm in the field. I don't know if mulching with precision farming helps you at all. It may help you in the yield production, but in the precision farming scoring, it doesn't really help you out at all. At least I don't see where it does. It may do so, but I don't see where it pans out. I do mulching on Solyndra only because a lot of you wanted me to, so I went ahead and did it. And I don't mind doing it on that map too much because the fields are kind of small. I just don't see where the mulching or the rolling pays out that much. I mean, it does add 2% each to the yield. But when you're doing small fields and crops that don't pay that well, it's a lot of extra work just to get maybe a couple $100 more off a field. And when you put into the cost of the implements for the roller and the mulcher, and then of course the wear and tear on your equipment, your vehicle, the diesel fuel, it probably just barely evens out. Maybe a little bit of a profit on it. So with the amount of electricity we're going to make the rest of the day, we may get enough money to upgrade the dairy production one more time. And then, yeah, when we sell the clothes in May, upgrade it 2 more times. I'll get us up to level 7. And then we'll see how it goes from there, because just barely in March we upgrade. I think it was March we upgraded to level 2. Seems like a lot of levels, but we're, like I said at the beginning of the series, the cows are going to be making lots of milk, lots of manure, lots of slurry. The sheep don't seem to be going through that much food with the Maizeplus food add-on. And since we just started the chickens, it's kind of hard to tell if they're going to go through a lot or not. Just barely got them. And I've only had them over one night, so it's kind of hard to see how much they're going to go through, especially with only 11 chickens. But since chickens reproduce every 2 months once they're mature, it's not going to take them too long to get us up to a full pen. Then we'll realize how much food that they're going to go through. I'm thinking they might be just like the sheep. They're not going to go through as much. But they're not going to be like the cows where they overproduce on eggs. At least I don't think so. All right, one more pass here. And this field should be all set. Now I could, and I talked about it, I think last fall in the series, where, we got the See and Spot weed sprayer on the back. What I could do is put a liquid fertilizer sprayer on the front and fertilize the field. Now, every time the crop grows, it's going to take a little bit of fertilizer out, or it should. But right here, we can see the sugar beet has germinated, but it's showing the nitrogen as still being perfect. So that's all good. Well, one more field of sugar beet to go in weeding, and that would be all of the fields all set for the year until harvest time. Just as for the grass field, yeah, we'll be getting busy with that next time. And I'll probably actually take care of this sugar beet field in between episodes, because we've done enough weeding in this episode and last episode. There's the cotton field that we did. And actually, you know what? I may not even do it between episodes. I may go ahead and just hire Frank, Francine, or whoever to take care of this field while we mow the grass next time. Let's just head on over to... Okay, I thought that was at the cow barn, but it's not. It's actually at the silo. Yeah, so we got 115,000 liters of corn. So if I brought over like 50,000 liters of corn to the bakery to make flour, then to make bread, we can make, a good amount of money from that. I don't need that much corn, I don't think. Oh yeah, so I got to remember, for the sheep, it's whole crop silage. Okay, that's something we make, and there's one thing that we can't make for them. So yeah, in the winter we won't have conditioned grass or fresh grass. Grain grist. Okay. Yeah, grain grist we do have. Sugar beet. Yeah, so we have everything there. So we're all set. We should be all set. And we got a good amount of grain grist. That's for darn sure. And we'll have more even so at the end of the year. The cows. How you guys doing on straw, actually? Yeah, you're getting a little bit low on straw. Actually, you can see better. Probably if I just stayed right in here. Straw. Yeah, we'll have to bring some straw in. I'm thinking they might be good until harvest time. If not, we'll just grab some straw, put it on in there. The good thing about this the cow barn, is it does actually hold a good amount of milk. As you can see, we're up to 91,000 liters. So, yeah, that's a lot of milk. It's a lot of milk. So I'm hoping the BGA gives us another 100,000 in electricity today. I'll probably bring over some more slurry, which are up to 20,000 liters. So that's a good amount. And of course our sheep, well, you guys can start piling up the wool, if you will. And that way next year when it comes time to sell the clothing, we'll have a whole bunch, I do hope. But anyways, that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching. As always, I'll catch you again right here in Hinterland. But until then, have a good one.